In a dominant 59-23 stomping of the team up north, Arizona football secured their second straight Territorial Cup victory this past Saturday. The Wildcats had the game secured by the end of the first half, leading 31-7 as the two teams made their way into the locker room. The first two quarters saw 5 Wildcat touchdowns, 1 forced fumble, and 1 interception. The second half was much of the same, and by the final whistle, Noah Fafita had thrown for 527 yards. Tedderoic McMillan had caught for 266, and Michael Wiley had driven 3 touchdowns. Arizona football now finishes off the regular season with a 9-3 record and awaits bowl game selection this Sunday. Because our regular season has come to an end, so is the Wildcat Rundown. So on this finale of the podcast, I have 2 of our veteran specialists on the show, Kyle Ostendorp and Tyler Loop. It's about time, but we finally have some representation of the specialist here on the Wildcat Rundown. Welcome to the podcast, Kyle Ostendorp and Tyler Loop. Thank you guys for being here today.
Thanks for having us.
Almost slept through it.
I know we had to text Kyle. We were like, hey, you able to make it? I thought you were studying, maybe eating.
I was in the locker room slump, so.
Had to get that nap in. Well, that kind of leads into one of the questions I had for you guys today. You are both very busy with the academics. You guys didn't choose easy majors by any means. And then you guys are also very involved. And then you're football players. So I would love to hear from each of you what a day in the life looks like for you on probably like a Tuesday, because I know you guys also lift on that day, so it's probably a fuller day for you guys.
Want me to start?
Yeah.
Well, I was originally in the 6 a.m. group with the rest of the specialists, but I like my sleep, so I moved to 8 a.m. So I come in around 6:30, get breakfast, do all that, and then I lift at 8 with the offensive lineman, defensive lineman. And then I go class 9:30 to 10:45. And I go in the training room, get some like compression boots, some recovery stuff going on. And then I either do homework or work for my internship. And then I have class from 2 to 3:15. I had to take this class, so it interferes with meetings on Tuesdays and Thursdays. But then practice, dinner, and then go home and do more homework, stuff like that. So
And then do it again.
Too crazy, yeah, every day.
6 a.m. lift, class from 8 to 12:15. I'll come to the facility, grab lunch, do a little bit of recovery, read, and then practice we'll have football block from 2 to 7. So we'll have football kind of starting at 2, and we'll leave the facility at about 7. And then on a Tuesday, typically I'll go hang out with some of my friends. We'll have a Bible study, spend some time reading a book together, just kind of chopping it up and getting some good time away from football, some good rest. And I'll do that till about 9:30, go home, wind down, and get ready for the next day.
What advice would you offer other student athletes for balancing your schedule? Is there anything you've learned over the years that really helps you guys stay organized or just stay on top of such a hectic time?
I mean, it's not fun. You just gotta know that first and foremost. I mean, it's a job, it's a business. You can't just expect every day to be leisure. So you gotta put your nose to the grindstone, work hard, stuff like that.
Yeah. I don't know, actually, like, it's hard. It's not something that's like, you have to love your sport if you want to enjoy being a student athlete. It has to be something that you're really passionate about. I think the biggest thing is spending intentional time each week planning. So knowing what you have that week rather than kind of getting surprised by, oh, I have this at football or I have this at my sport and I have all these classes and these exams I didn't expect. If you actually like spend time sitting down and planning out your week, it can really honestly let you live a little more free when you know where you're gonna have free time, where you need to be, what you need to do.
I think it's important to like plan for optimizing your free time as well, like having fun with some stuff. Like during our off day on Monday, like if I'm doing homework for 10 hours, I'll be sure to go to the golf range for like an hour and a half, do something like that.
Yeah.
Make time for yourself.
So golfing for you on Monday. How else do you guys spend your Mondays, which are off here?
Ooh.
Pickleball, golf, just going outside, stuff like that.
I'm the opposite. Rest day is in day. Like, it's an indoor day for me. Like, just I'll hang out with my roommates. I'll go get lunch and dinner with them. I'll spend some time with some older guys who pour their life into me and mentor me. it's usually a way to get away from football and get off my feet.
Yeah, you guys kind of get a little life balance there away from the facility here, new people, new activities. I like that. So Kyle, this is your 5th year here at Arizona. Loop, your 4th, and the season is flying by. What has been your favorite moment so far this season?
Honestly, just the whole thing. I mean, it's been a completely different experience so far from what I've been used to in the past, and I think Coach Fish has been doing an amazing job bringing this team together. I think the guys in the locker room are all great. It's great to be around them, and the season really flies by a lot faster when you have your friend with you every single day, so it's been awesome.
Oh.
I don't have like a favorite moment so far, just winning.
Do you have a favorite game yet?
I mean, beating ASU last year was probably like the start of all the fun, and like this whole year has been great. So.
Yeah. Favorite like specific moment? We were in the team hotel at Colorado, and Big Jonah was playing the piano, and all the D line and like all the O line was gathered around there singing "Lean on Me" by Bill Withers, and it was really funny because you could hear it like in the elevator on the other side of the hotel, and that was a cool moment. Like you talk about the culture change here of guys actually loving each other, guys caring about each other, and having like a close team. I think that just kind of embodies that really well. Favorite game? Honestly, last game. Like,
yeah, we haven't beat Utah until this year.
Yeah,
so it's big.
We haven't beat Utah in the time that I've been here, and like that first quarter, day game, sold out crowd, red out, like Zona Zoo was going crazy, and like when we blocked the punt and the stadium just went nuts. That was a really fun game, and yeah, that's probably my favorite one so far.
Mm-hmm. And you guys are talking about the culture, and something also, especially for the specialist group, is just the consistency that you guys have had with not only you two being here a while, but also Seth, Cam, Forbes, and then the coaches too. You guys have had a little more consistency this season than years past. How has that helped you guys with just performance and also mental preparation?
Yeah, I think just being together for the whole time has really led to having a good operation. I mean, Seth has been lights out since the day he got on campus pretty much, so it's been cool. I mean, for the field goal operation, we know where the ball is going to be every single time. The hold, the spin, everything's going to be good, and then just lights out kicking. So I think it's cool to have the same guys been working for 5 years really just boil down to the reps you guys see on TV, but it's been a lot more than that.
Yeah, like most of the dudes in our room are pretty veteran, so like you said, everything just gets smoother with time and repetition and practice. So, we've been able to build a pretty cool dynamic and relationship within the room, having the same guys for 3 or 4 years. So that's been one of the cool things this season.
What does a practice look like for you guys? Because every position group breaks off and they have their own time together to focus on their skill sets and their specific drills. But you guys are on your own a lot for practice. You guys come over here to the stadium to kick, and then you're back. And what does a typical practice look like for you?
Yeah, it's a lot of ping pong. Sometimes we go to the rec center and go to the pool, sunbathe. No, people think that's what specialists do, but it's really like just a lot of repetition doing the same one thing over and over again, just making sure everything's dialed down to the millimeter. That's what it really needs to be boiled down to. So we'll get 40 long snaps, 40 short snaps, lots and lots of punts, lots of kicks, and stuff like that, stretching, mobility, all that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll see like Liam and Kaysen, who are the coaches that work with you guys, they're constantly measuring everything, taking down notes, analyzing things like that too, where it seems like it's such a more precise position.
Yeah.
It's like golf.
Yeah, no, it's very similar to golf. Like, you got to be able to do the same thing over and over. Like, it's a really monotonous job. It's a craft that we've developed over a number of years. Like, I started really kicking in 8th grade, meeting with a coach every few weeks, every month. And just, it'll be something so small that you have to change and you're working on constantly. I heard it said, I think it was, there was a sports psychologist, I don't remember his name, but he said kicking is not about perfection, but it's about being a perfect adjuster. Mm-hmm. And so understanding as a specialist how to, what you need to work on, what needs to improve, and just like every day hammering that out, being really intentional with that has been it's kind of what our practice is all about.
How often do you guys individually kick or punt? I know in the season you guys are doing it every day as a team, but in the summer or off season, are you guys working by yourselves a lot?
Yeah, I mean, I would say pretty much every single day over summer or in the spring or winter, we're doing something on our own, because you can't necessarily kick every day because your legs will get blown out. But whether I'm with the snappers or just doing something else intentionally, like practicing my drop or practicing, I know like steps are a big thing for kickers, or snappers will do different drills as well, but it's pretty much an everyday thing.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll echo that. I mean, we'll get together 2-3 times a week and work on our operation, our unit, but apart from that, really, it's pretty just mastering your individual craft over the off season.
And then Tyler, you said you started kicking around 8th grade. What made you get into football? Were you always a kicker? Did you play anything else?
Yeah, so I grew up playing soccer, and like my whole life, if you asked me what I wanted to do, there's like no doubt I want to be a professional soccer player. And I always kicked the ball pretty far, and my dad took me up to our middle school and was like, all right, I know you don't like football, but we're gonna kick this football. And I kicked it, and I did pretty well my first time out, enjoyed it. There's actually a guy who I went to high school with, his name is Blake Pfaff, he played safety here. Well, his dad kicked here, I think, 80s. Yeah, his dad kicked here in the 80s, early 90s, and he was my first kicking coach. And he kind of told me what college football was like, and it started to, over the years of kicking in high school, and I just started to fall in love with it. Like, kicking became my main thing, and it became something that I wanted to pursue. Not only in college, but professionally. And it's just been kind of a passion of mine since then.
Did he have an influence on you coming here then?
A little bit. I remember when, like, going through recruiting, like, being from Texas, you don't really hear a lot about the West Coast. And, like, I didn't know what the Pac-12 was, because my whole life was, like, Texas football, Texas A&M, Oklahoma, like, those Big 12 SEC schools. And I got contacted a little bit by one of the coaches here, and I didn't really think much of it. And then Doug Pfaff, the guy who kicked here, he called me and was like, hey dude, you need to pick up the phone, because like this place is awesome. And so I remember Googling Arizona Stadium and saw the campus. I was like, oh shoot, like this is a cool place. And so he kind of sparked the interest of like getting me interested in Arizona. So he did have a little bit of an influence.
Were you a little nervous moving all the way from Texas to Tucson?
No, I loved it here. Like when I came on my visit, I came on like a campus tour my junior year, and I loved it. Like walking around the campus, the weather was awesome. I'd never seen like mountains like that before. I mean, except for going skiing in Colorado, but Texas is flat. Arizona, like Tucson, surrounded by beautiful mountains. The weather was really nice when I came, and then I came on my official, and I was like, yeah, like this is where I belong. So.
And then Kyle, you're from the Phoenix area.
Yeah.
Did you always want to go to the U of A? Did you have family that went here? When did the University of Arizona kind of get on your radar?
I mean, I always grew up watching the Territorial Cup, stuff like that. It's a hard word to say.
It is. It's a tongue twister.
Yeah, I always watched that. We used to go to a lot of the ASU games and everything like that. But then once U of A offered me, I came down here. I just really wanted to stay down in Tucson. I wanted to be close to my family instead of going somewhere else in the Pac-12. And it's turned out really well for me, so I'm excited to be here. So.
How did you get into punting?
So I played soccer also, but then I started playing football in like the 5th grade or something. And I was always like the kicker and punter just because I had a big leg and stuff like that. But I always played like tight end or fullback or linebacker as well. And then going into high school, I played rugby and I played football, both. So I did a lot of the kicking and rugby as well. And we had really good kickers in my high school that went to like LSU, Air Force, Weber State, stuff like that. And our coach was like, okay, you need to start punting. And my high school coach, Rich Camarillo, was a 16-year NFL vet for the Patriots, Cardinals, 5-time Pro Bowler, and he kind of taught me everything I know. And he's been a great influence in my life. So he taught me how to punt, and I still work with him to this day. So it's been cool.
And so football outbeat rugby and soccer. It was the one that lasted for you.
Yeah, I mean, I really liked rugby, but once they don't pay as much, so I thought it was a good decision to come get my education, because for rugby, it's not a huge D1 sport. I mean, it's sponsored, but normally you have to go play overseas, so I wanted to stay here.
Did you always know that you wanted to study aerospace engineering, or was that something that once you got here or decided you were coming here that you started looking into?
I wanted to do astrophysics initially, but then I looked at all the curriculum and it was just too academic. It wasn't practical enough for me at the time, so I wanted to do aerospace instead. So that's when I looked at it. And
you've stuck with it, and you're getting, is it your master's now? Or
yeah, so I'm finishing my master's in about like 3 weeks now. Not that anyone's counting, but yeah, I can't wait to be done with that. So that was
do you want to continue your education? Or what's the plan?
No, I don't want to get my PhD.
This is it. Okay.
Maybe further down the road, but.
Do you know exactly what you want to do with that yet?
I have no idea.
Explain for people who might not know what aerospace engineering is. What is it?
Well, there are different aspects of it. Like, you can have controls and dynamics where you work on like controlling the attitude and orbit of a rocket ship, or you can also have the fluid mechanics part of it where you are studying the airflow over certain solid bodies. So that's what I focus on, like reducing drag, increasing lift, all that fun stuff.
Rocket science.
It is rocket science, yeah.
It's legitimately rocket science. All right, I have some fan questions for you guys now, so we'll transition into those. The first one comes from Charlie, and he asked, would you rather have hands for feet or feet for hands?
Oh, hands for feet.
Hands for feet.
Could be a unique way to play football, though.
Yeah, but you can run on all fours. That'd be pretty intimidating.
Yeah, be fast.
Kyle, do you have an answer?
I don't know. This is tripping me.
I like having thumbs too much. Like, I don't think I could have just like.
Yeah, you'd have to go hands for feet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like having thumbs.
Grab things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty important, I guess.
Four-handed catches. Maybe beat T-Mac in a hands competition then.
How do you prepare to handle the pressure of a game?
I'll take this one. So we in practice will kind of try and simulate game reps. So we do this thing every Tuesday called pressure kicks, and it'll be a set of 5 kicks or set of 5 field goals, and the whole team will be around screaming, kind of simulating a rush on the O-line as well. And then, aside from that, it's just preparation, like understanding that if you took away the rush and you took away the stadium and you took away all the fans, what we're doing is really so isolated that it's not much different than in the summer when we're out there working just us 3, empty stadium, complete silence, and just relaxed. Once you understand that, it makes pretty nice.
The next question comes from Andy, and he asked, what is your favorite post-game celebratory meal?
It's not healthy, I can tell you that for sure.
That's okay. We're celebrating.
I don't know. I mean,
the
Big Mac bundle.
The Big Mac bundle at McDonald's.
That can get you through a lot of things.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sometimes I go for like the Crunchwrap Supremes. You got to get one of those. But normally after games, I'm like not hungry at all. So
so many of the games this year were so late too that.
Yeah, late games, and they feed us like crazy. I'm already overweight, so I need to chill. I know Tanner's been yelling at me for the past like 4 weeks. So.
Recently for me, it's been Whataburger.
Oh, gross, dude.
A Texan, a true Texan.
Yeah,
it's overrated.
It's more their tradition though. Hold on, no.
It's not fresh. In-N-Out's better.
It's more.
I know you guys both from Texas. Whataburger's not good.
I will agree with Kyle. I don't mind Whataburger, but I am honestly an In-N-Out fan.
Yeah,
which is not a Texan thing to say, but.
In-N-Out's great. In-N-Out's great. I love In-N-Out. But it's more the open 24 hours, like after a football game. I can go there with my friends.
Is 2 a.m. not late enough for you?
Huh?
Is 2 a.m. not late enough for you at In-N-Out? Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's more the tradition.
No rebuttal.
Well, okay. We grew up a couple
towns
over, and it was every high school game, football. I played soccer even after soccer games. Whataburger was the spot. Like,
See, we'd all go to In-N-Out or like a sports bar. Not to drink, I got wings. Like 17 years old. Might not be better.
Yeah.
The next question is also a food question. What is your go-to pregame meal?
Oh god, I get made fun of this because I don't care if it's a 9 a.m. game or an 8 p.m. game, but all the other specials are eating, like, for example, when we played Colorado, it was like noon. They're eating like pancakes and like bacon and stuff, and I just have steak, pasta, rice, and like all that other stuff. So I'm weird. I'm not a big breakfast guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what time of the day.
Yeah. I just pick something with a lot of carbs in it, like fuel up for the game. So I'm not too picky on what it is, just carbs.
Another question comes from Perez, and he asked, what is your leg day workout routine?
Oh, whatever Tio dials up for us.
Yeah, whatever. we work out with a team, so whatever they're doing is what we're doing.
You need Seth in on this one. He's a freak.
Yeah.
Seth can squat like over 500 pounds easily.
Jeez,
So.
Yeah.
he's into it, yeah.
Seth's an animal in the weight room. He's he's crazy.
We'll tell Perez to reach out to him then.
Exactly.
The last one comes from Brisa, and she's asking, are you guys superstitious?
No. No.
I mean, I just have the things I enjoy to do. Like, I don't know if that makes sense, but like, I wear certain girdles because I don't like the way like my other pads feel. Like,
Yeah.
but I wouldn't say like superstitious necessarily.
Gotcha. No pregame rituals, anything like that?
When I put my cleats on.
Yeah.
Just the
Yeah.
routine of it.
Yeah, it's just like a routine. It's not like a superstition thing.
Yeah.
So,
I
like
think
every kicker needs a routine.
Yeah, like it's important to have a routine as a specialist. I think honestly you can't really be superstitious as a specialist, because if one little thing goes wrong and you start like, oh, this happened, so now this is gonna happen. Now you've got in your mind like a negative result. That doesn't set you up very well. So just understanding like your routine is your routine. Stuff can go wrong, but that doesn't change the fact that your routine works.
Well, thank you guys so much for being on the podcast today.
Yeah,
Sweet,
absolutely.
thanks, Kenzie.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.